Good morning, y'all. Let me get my camera switched here. I need to plug it up. Hold on one sec. All right. Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? What's up, James? We got James, Bio, Kiera.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's a little early here.
Absolutely.
I got you. Well, we're gonna liven it up. We're gonna wake it on up. Um, just a heads up what we'll be discussing today. This is the last and final part of our listing series. And so over the last few weeks, we've been going over listings. We started with that initial appointment. So, getting that listing, closing that sale, how you should run that appointment, what to say, all of that stuff. Then we moved into the actual listing presentation, how that appointment goes, your services, and so that way you get that actual listing agreement signed and providing great customer service. Today we're going to get into the supplements, so those things that can really make you a great agent, really set you apart from other agents. These are the things that I believe truly get the referrals. So, a lot of times we think that we're getting a referral because we got their home sold, right? But oftentimes as agents, we know that there's a stigma out there. Oh, well, my agent really didn't do anything. Oh, they only put it on MLS and put a sign in the yard. We know behind the scenes that we did a lot, but they don't see all of that stuff. And so what I'm going to talk to you about today, and I'm actually going to show y'all, are those value added things that we do. So that way it's left with that impression of, gosh, they really went above and beyond. They did X, Y, Z outside of just selling the home. So a lot of these things complement what you're already doing, but it puts it in a way that the client knows, and it makes them feel special. It gets you referrals, all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to go over today. Now, before we get into it, let me just give y'all my trusty reminder. I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, Ara, can you enable me to share, please? And if anyone needs anything as far as like documents go, or replay links or anything like that, if you can't find them in your email, feel free to reach out to us, team@powerunitcoaching.com. You'll get our amazing executive assistant. She's awesome. She's on the call. Or just drop your email address there, so that way y'all can get whatever you need. So Do the Most conference is coming up. We're probably like a month and a few weeks away here in Dallas, Texas. So April 5th through the 7th. The tickets are still early bird pricing until March 1st. The big theme around this event is creating multiple streams of income. So you as an agent, right, there's a lot of things that you can do, but what is that thing that we don't have a lot of? We don't have a lot of time, right? But we want to make more money. We're limited sometimes with the amount of people that we can work with at one time, or if we have a team, the amount of people that they can work with. And so it really got to a point where I was like, there's so much money to be made out here, and a lot of passive money to be made. And that's what we're going to show you here at the Do the Most conference. The whole theme is doing the most, right? Being more than just an agent, how to multiply your income. And that's going to be in a variety of areas. Somebody's mic is echoing. I think it's Bio. That's going to be in a variety of areas. So if I scroll down here, you'll see building up your personal credit, getting business credit, investing strategies, crypto, NFTs, luxury new construction, right? Short-term rentals, getting funding for your business in order to create in order to do larger projects. So for those of you who possibly want to build, build single family homes, build townhomes, developments, how to get funding for all of that. Okay, creating passive income streams, building a team of people around you, right? So not just for your real estate business, but for your whole enterprise. All right. How to take more listings, 30 listings in 30 days, managing your time a lot better. Okay. So all of that, I'm going to be posting these speakers this week. And so believe me, it's not going to be me doing all of this and teaching all of this. I'm bringing in experts in these areas, people who have done it. They can show you how they're doing it. And to be honest with you, this stuff is not very hard. It doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes you to know that it exists, that it's possible to be done. And once you know that and you have the framework, you can run with it. So April 5th through the 7th. So April 5th is our welcome mixer check-in. And then on that Wednesday, April 6th, we're going to go all day, finishing up with the VIP mastermind dinner at 7. And then on the 7th, same thing all day. And then we have our platinum VIP party bus. It's going to be here in the Dallas area. So at the Sandman Signature Plano Frisco Hotel. The rooms are there. I've already previewed the rooms. They have great rates, nice spacious rooms. I mean, even the suites are like little apartments and they're not super expensive at all. There's restaurants there at the hotel. Our welcome mixer is going to be held at a pretty popular restaurant, but it's right there. So, transportation is not an issue, and we're in a nice ballroom. And so, it's going to be a great event. So we have early bird pricing still until March the 1st, tells you everything you'll get. We'll post the link in the chat box, but it's just at chasenjmiles.com/live. Okay. So definitely get your tickets to Do the Most. And I'm going to be like, I've only really been telling y'all and putting little drops on my Instagram, but this week, actually starting today, is the campaign for everyone. And so like last time, those VIP and platinum tickets, they went quick. So if you want VIP or platinum, be sure to get it before they sell out, because that's where it's going to be. Okay. So super excited. I'm excited too, Kiera. It's going to be great. So let's do this right quick before we get into the final installment of our listing series. Let's go down the line for you to tell us what's going on in your business, how your past week was, and anything that you may need help with or you want our feedback on. So we're going to start with you, James.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. James, you are killing it out here, man. How you doing?
Oh, good. I'm trying to make things happen. So I always say this, but I don't make a lot of these calls. I like it when I can get on here, but yeah, just been still growing my team and putting a lot of my effort into the building a team side. So kind of slowed down my production, but I'm getting ready to cap here I'm with the EXP. So I'm getting ready to cap with the EXP and then start working on the Icon agent. So I've got till July 1st for that. So I'm looking hopeful that I'm going to hit that. But just really setting my sights high, trying to get to 20 agents by the end of the year. So on my team is kind of where I'm at. I never thought I'd be where I'm at now. I've got 6 of us total right now, and I just started 6 months ago. So I've got 6 of us and we're all producing deals already. We're got a TC. We're, really making a legitimate team. And then I've got 6 more people on pace to join the team in the next 30 to 60 days. So I'll have 12, and I'm glad I'm doing it in increments, because it's a lot of work taking on. My people are all new. They're all new agents. So I'm training them from no knowledge up to where I'm at. And it's definitely been it's been fun experience. So, but it's nice. It's rewarding when you start to see them close deals. And this last week, we put 7 things under contract. So going from, just a single agent to being able to get 7 between listings and new purchase contract, getting 7 in a week is pretty cool. So I'll be excited when I can start getting 10 to 20 in a week when I have, 12, 13 people on the team. So it's
That's
exciting.
awesome.
That's kind of where I'm at.
So how is it on the admin side of things? I know you mentioned a TC. Is that your only admin person or?
Yeah. So right now I'm the admin with the transaction coordinator. So why my production has kind of went down a little bit is because I'm not out every day, making calls and trying to get new listings. I'm checking contracts. I'm making sure the team's contracts are looking good. We use dot loop, so they submit them to me, then I do corrections, send them back to them before we submit them to SkySlope, or before we submit them to the TC, who ultimately submits them to SkySlope. But when I get to probably 10 agents is when I'm going to start looking for an admin to hire. Probably, I don't know if it'll be full-time or part-time to start, but it's definitely, I still work a full-time job. So this isn't, I don't do just real estate. So for me to grow a team this fast is kind of crazy. And I literally don't have enough hours in the day. So I'm definitely going to have to hire an admin. It's just, at what point does that make sense? And, I want to make sure that I've got a good group of people that are going to continue to produce deals before I commit somebody to working for me.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you want to be in production right now?
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I have certain goals for this year. Like I said, I have a certain agent count that I want to get to. And at some point, the team will kind of go into autopilot where I won't really need to do production, because I'll be able to do more just coaching and recruitment kind of stuff. But right now, I've got bills to pay, so I feel like I have the pressure that I need to have production so that I have the commission income coming in to pay those bills. But once I get to a certain number of agents and we get a certain number of deals, I won't really have to do that so much. But I enjoy that. I've also got as far as like just building my network for EXP, that's kind of a goal for this year to start. And I'm kind of on the back burner other than just the agents that I'm bringing onto my team under me. I want to start doing that as well. But I think once I get to the point where I don't have to do production, like I don't have the feeling that I have to go out and do deals every month, and then I can give a little bit more attention to that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the reason why I asked you that was because that could be your solution right there, and what I'd like you to do is for this next week straight, I mean, it's Monday, write down every single thing that you do, like right after you finish it. So whether it was, hey, I took a phone call with the title company, or
Sure.
I corrected this contract, like write down every single thing that you do. And what you're probably going to find is at the end of the week, a lot of that stuff will make sense for you to bring someone on, even if it's part-time, because you're at a point right now. I mean, especially if you're going to be bringing on 6 more agents within the next 30 to 60 days, you're at a tipping point, right? And
Sure.
we like to make these graphs go like this, go
Mhm.
up, and not like this because it's clunky, or like not just stay the same because whatever the case is. Plus you're trying to reach icon and you have a few months to do it. And so, this will probably be a great time before you bring on all of those agents to at least consider having someone part-time to
Sure.
start to do some of that admin stuff. Then as you start to bring on more agents to your team, now you're training them on onboarding. Now you're training them on getting them into these systems. You're getting that well-oiled machine going, and you're able to step back and do your production, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to train someone kind of right now while you have 6 and y'all are ramping up on contracts and stuff. Then when you have 12 and you do have 10, 15 contracts going on, you want someone to be sharp by then.
Sure.
Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to get in that mindset of, I'm gonna just do it myself because we got a lot going on and I just need to get it done, and then it'll keep pushing it out. And so if anything, I would say start with part-time. At that time, when you were planning on bringing someone on, make them full-time at that point, and they'll know how everything works and how it's going, and they can support you. And actually, I always say I want people to do it better than me. And even if you just go the VA route, which could save you some money,
Mhm.
I would do that, because you're at that point now where you can literally explode. But I think that one admin person would do you really, really well. So seriously consider. I have a recommendation for a VA company if you need one,
Sure.
but I would seriously consider it.
Yeah, you can send me who your recommendation is. My other option is, and I know that my guys are all kind of still new, but um, kind of did like a rip off and repeat of EXP's mentor program. So basically, once an agent on my team closes 3 transactions, they're eligible to mentor a brand new agent, and kind of they won't be perfect, so they're not going to have all their contracts perfect, I'm sure, but at least the point of that, or the idea behind that, is that that agent can kind of hold somebody else's hand. So I'm not doing that. And then hopefully once we get, 5, 6 agents on the team that are all producing and kind of understand how this works now, that they can grab a new agent and, work that way. So that was the other idea that I had, to kind of take some of the weight off my shoulders too, without having to hire an admin so fast. Because like I said, I'm doing basically every 3 to 4 months, I'm putting out ads, or reaching out to people to say, hey, I've got a new agent group starting, this date, and I'll put 5 agents through licensing and start them from there. I know we talked about the risk involved in that, but at this point, it's working out for me, at least in this first group. So we'll see how the second group works out. But for me though, the successful route has been new agents, rather than, I'm just not attracting currently
Yeah, I get it.
agents
I
that are
get it.
seasoned, but maybe I will once I'm at, 10, 15 agents.
Yep, yep, I get it. Something to think about also, be very, because I like your idea about the duplication and the mentor, having your current
Mhm.
agents train the new agents. But be very clear about how this training and what's to be trained, and things like be very clear with these agents, so that way you make sure that your standard is being duplicated across the board,
Sure.
and not their agent shortcuts or their way of doing things.
Yeah, sure.
Just be super clear about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea, and you can even incentivize them for it. And yeah.
Sure. And I've never ran a team, so I appreciate the feedback. I'm literally, everything I'm doing is I'm learning as I go, and hoping it works. If it doesn't, I adjust real quick and keep going. But it's crazy, because once you get to the point of, having even, 5 agents on your team and wanting to grow, the slightest thing you do wrong could make it all fall apart. So it's like, just trying to make sure that I'm moving ahead in the right direction, and getting to the point. Like I said, at some point, my main goal is to, make enough profit on the team to kind of replace the production that I was doing, and so
Mhm.
that I can start working on just recruiting, and for my network and for my team. But for now, like I said, to still enjoy the production. But again, I'm part-time, so
Yeah.
um, if I could get more time in the day by not doing production, that would be ideal.
Yeah. Well, we're always here for you. I mean, Daniel has a team. I have all those resources and everything as well. So for whatever, feel free to reach out even outside of these calls.
Sure.
Okay,
Cool.
cool.
Thanks.
Yep. All right, Kiera, you're up.
Okay, good morning.
Good
Um,
morning.
Yesterday was a super busy day. I volunteered for like 15 hours at the Black on the Block event that I do every month. So that was good. good to get in the community and for business, obviously. I have a closing next week for my listing, and I have a listing appointment this week as well. So hopefully that goes well.
Nice.
That's pretty much all I have going on. Fee did reach out to me last week,
Good.
and we're going through that, and that's all I
Okay.
got.
Okay. I mean, is she helping you out?
Yes, I did. I did get some people who felt bad for me and did some stuff for me, so I appreciate that. I mean, that wasn't obviously my motivation in that, but
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate it. And yeah, Fee is on her stuff and upset, obviously. And so,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, as long as action is being taken, we got to solve these problems before they start to duplicate. So,
yes.
all right. Well, great job. I'm gonna send you good vibes for your listing appointment and lock it up. Lock it up. You got it.
Thank you.
All right. Bio.
Hey, Jason.
How are
Hi,
you?
everybody. Well, I'm blessed. I'm doing great. So, yeah, I signed up already for the conference, so I'm gonna be there. I'm trying to look for exciting. I'm trying to look for a partner for maybe 2 queen beds or something. I'm gonna reach out to people.
Oh, you didn't get the hotel link or you don't want
I
to
got the link, but I was just trying to do like 2 queen beds in one room so we can just split.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna reach out to the guy and see if he's interested.
Okay. I got
Yeah,
you.
so business has been great. We had 3 closings this month, and next month we got 3. So averagely, we're averaging like 3 every month right
Okay.
now, and the goal is to build that team. So I'm still working on it, trying to put some finishing touches together. You remember we talked about it too. So, and also, like I said, I'm still trying to build my listing. My listing side of my business. I have almost 20 buyers on the contract, probably 16, but
Oh, wow.
I only have 1 listing. So the goal is for me to build the listing side of the business and build a team so I can have a buyer's agent that will show houses and stuff, and me being able to do the listings and other bigger things like you are saying, building business credit and all these other things, and make the company solid. So that's what we've been working on. And I have a first-time home buyer seminar coming up in March, end
Okay.
of March. I have a mortgage lender that is coming, who is a powerhouse here in Houston, and also a credit repair expert. Because I realize a lot of our clients struggle with their credit, or they know people that struggle. So I'm combining, I call it a credit repair and home buyer seminar. So that's what I call it. That's going to be happening in March. So I'm excited, man. I'm all
Nice.
in. I'm all
You
in.
got a lot going on. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks to you, man. Thanks to you. Appreciate it.
For sure. I got you. All
Awesome.
right. Daniel, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I've been MIA for, I think, 2-3 weeks now.
Mhm.
Yes, it's been real busy out here. Let's see here, where can I start? I guess, do have a lot of pre-approved buyers. I think it's just finding them a house. Even now, like I said, I always said my buyers are under 300, 250, 225, and now it's like super hard. Even some renters, like one guy called me yesterday, wanted to rent at 1,500. I went online and literally there was nothing. Everything's 1,800 and higher. So I was like, dang. And so I'm really starting to feel it on that side. Even with the new construction, there was one house that I had a client and I was pushing them. And he had other reasons why he couldn't go drop off the deposit. And then finally somebody else bought it. And it was just literally the only house in that area. And his girlfriend was like, yeah, we want, we want the house and all that. But he just took too long. And I told him straight up, I said, man, you just took too long, dude. Now we got to wait again or keep looking. And it's crazy because in that community here in Rosenberg, it's really not very nice. Like I grew up in this area and I went over there to see what they had, and the houses were like $500,000. Like I was like, who the hell wants to live right here for $500,000? Like I just couldn't believe it. And I was talking to the sales rep and he was saying, oh, we're sold out. Like we completely sold out. And I'm thinking, man, for $500,000, like a lot of other homes, neighborhoods way better than this. I'm wondering why. And so I asked him what kind of buyers are buying these. Are they out of town or? And he told me they were all locals. I was like, interesting. And so, long story short, it's a lot of people that bought homes like in big neighborhoods, maybe like 2-3 years ago, that bought them for like 300,000-400,000, and they're selling their houses for like 600,000. So they're pulling out all that equity, and then they're going down the road, which is, like I said, not the nicest side of town, but it's like country. It's not like ghetto or anything like that. It's just there's nothing there, and they're
Yeah.
buying these houses for 500,000, putting what 20% down probably, or even less, and you know they're keeping 300,000 with them, and the houses, I mean, they're still large. So I started seeing that, and then I started just looking around the neighborhood, and I started seeing, well, that makes sense because I see a lot of for sale signs. You know, they're expensive, but I mean, I see how people are getting listings in that area. And so I started thinking, well, maybe, you know, start cold calling in those neighborhoods because it looked like everybody's really trying to get their equity. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm at because I'm, you know, 90% of business is buyers, and a lot of them are, you know, 250. So I got to get creative with the homes and stuff like that. So, but I do have some contracts under, I do have some houses under contract. I have 4 of them under contract. I might have one today, will be my 5th one. And then I got a listing coming up out in spring. So that's pretty good. I still have the same team. They're doing good. They've been doing a lot of open houses. One of them almost had a house for 400,000 cash under contract. But it was one of those things where I don't understand why the listing agents are not like, you know, negotiating. They're just like testing final. And then we told them we had a cash, and they're like, oh, you should have told me earlier. Well, I mean, we mentioned it earlier, but you know, it was just harder working with this listing agent. But anyway, so I told her just keep working at it. She's doing pretty good with the open houses, getting a lot of conversations going with them, and they're all over. All those open houses are over 400,000. She's a new agent. She's doing pretty well. She has a closing coming up next month, or the beginning of next month. So she's doing good. We're doing some Spanish content. We're trying to get into that Spanish market. So I'm doing a little event Saturday for the Spanish speaking community, especially the people with I-10 numbers, with expired work permits, because they can still buy a house actually with an expired work permit. They just need to have a valid visa or something like that. And then a lot of them are self-contracted. And so working with this bank to see if they can help them fund. And matter of fact, I just found out that they can actually buy a house even without a social or without an I-10 number. So curious on how that deal works out. But
Curious.
they're saying they're closing 9 this month, and they closed a couple of them last month. So they're obviously, and I've seen them all. They're closing them at the title company. So there's nothing fishy or anything like that going on.
Yeah.
So getting that going. What else? Oh yeah, I did my books. So these books here,
Nice.
I'm passing them out. Yeah, I had 4 appointments yesterday, and I was able to pass them out. So we got these in pretty much in English. These are English books. And actually, I just thought about, I'm going to be selling some of the pages to my referral partners, like for 75 cents a page. And that's like, if I sell 2 pages for 75 cents, that covers the whole book, really. So I'll probably do that. And then I have the Spanish one, which I just thought about today. We should have probably used a different color for the Spanish, but they're literally the same. It's just the content is in Spanish.
Mhm.
So we got that going on. What else we got going on? Okay, so we're doing the whole we're doing the what do you call it? The events, and then we got these little books.
Nice, man.
Yeah, my
I
wife
love
did
the
mine.
branding.
Yeah, she's putting the little stamps in there. So we're just putting out some content, you know, trying to get some noise going. Like I said, I mean, as far as getting pre-approvals, I don't think that's an issue. It's finding the houses and negotiating the deals, is where we're at. But I'm still hopeful.
Let me ask you this, Daniel, have you put any thought into raising your price points?
Yes, on the buyer side or what?
Yeah, just overall working on more
Yeah.
higher end deals.
Yeah, I definitely have. Like I said, the open houses that we're doing, they're 300 higher, 400, 500,000. I'm starting to be a little more straight with some of my clients to say, I used to tell them, man, I can help you buy a house at this, with this kind of, this payment. And now I'm kind of like, just telling them straight up, like, you need to save your money, or, homes start at 300 if you're not willing to compromise. Because, if you look at the numbers, there's like 25,000 houses, 8,000, pending. There's houses out there. Like the one that I just bought right now, it was 210. We got it for 180. It's literally turnkey. We're gonna rent it out, and I already got some people ready to rent it out. That could have been to one of my clients who I have a bunch of them at 200. And
Yeah,
so I'm just telling them straight up in my the way my conversations are going are a little bit different, and I'm telling them, hey, it's not even about the credit anymore. It's just about, number one, you got to be realistic of what you're asking for, because the longer you wait, houses are getting more expensive. I had one client said, oh, I'm just gonna wait. And I said, that's the worst thing you can do. And another thing I told them is, when the houses were 120, the buyers had the same problem. I don't like the house, it's too expensive, it's not what I like. So the houses are 300, and it's the same conversation. I don't like the house is too expensive. I'm just telling them, it's not really the house, it's really the clients are not being realistic.
and something to take into account, the 150, 200,000 buyer 3-4 years ago is the 300, 350 buyer today. I mean, it's the same person. With raising price points, I don't mean just going 400,000 or 500,000, 7, 8, 9. And what tends to happen, the more higher price point you go, because right now you're just riding the inflation wave, so jobs are offering people more money because there's shortages in work employees, and the inflation rates are going up. I mean, crazy. And so it's just moving with that same trend, breaking that barrier. So 700 and up, 800 and up, that's a different clientele, because that funnel gets a lot smaller. And so you don't have as big of a pie of people who can afford that amount. And I'll tell you, it's crazy, but people in higher price points are so much less pickier than people in lower price points. And it's crazy to think about the stuff that people in higher price points are picky about are kind of those things that's like, oh yeah, that's no problem. We can get that fixed, or like we can get that done, but then they're also more so like, oh, we can change that ourselves. We can do this ourselves, versus the lower price points. They want everything perfect to all of their specifications, all of their liking, all of just any and everything. And the mentality behind that buyer is not the same mentality around the higher price point buyer. A lot of times you'll see people in higher price points thinking more like an investor. Oh, I mean, I'll pay 700 this year, 3-4 years, it'll be worth 1.2, blah, blah, blah. Versus the lower end buyer, they're not thinking about the future as much. And sometimes they can get in that forever home trap. Like, oh, am I gonna like this in 3 years? And it's just like, no, if you don't, you could just sell it, And so something that you can start doing, if you're not doing already, is start to have financial planning sessions with your clients at the buyer's appointment. So, hey, how long do you plan on being in this house? And using that as a selling point to getting them to say yes to something. For example, I mean, if you're showing them houses and they're like, oh yeah, I mean, it's in our price range, but I don't like the location. That's when you pull that card out. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this location. Here's what's happening right now. Boom. 2 years ago, these homes were worth this much. Now they're worth this much. Even if this isn't your forever home, in 2 years, you can grow your net worth by such and such percent or X amount of dollars. just by buying this house now, living in it for 2 years and then selling it. So get them thinking in a different way. Oh, okay, well, at that point, because heck, if I tell somebody, yeah, you're pre-approved for right 300 right now, right? But in 2 years, you're gonna have equity in this house. You can sell it. You'll probably get a profit of X amount of dollars. At that point, you're pre-approved for a $500,000 home. Just from making this sacrifice. Like I know it doesn't check all the boxes, but it checks most of them. And think of it more so like you're starting your investment portfolio versus, this is the end all be all.
Yeah, actually, I do like what you're saying about the financial. I think I should add that. Like I said, my conversations with the buyers are going very different. My buyers consultations, actually having to change a lot of my stuff. I'm also changing the look of it. That's why I kind of make it look a little bit more luxurious because I'm trying to get the higher clients. I do have a pre-approved buyer, 430, 450,000. And they're putting down like 150, 175,000. So it is true. It is not as hard. I don't have to convince them or none of that stuff. It's just really finding, they're not as picky as far as like, little details, but they are like, well, I need 5 bedrooms and I need, a theater or this one doesn't have a theater or something like that. They're not as picky. But I guess what I was going to get at is, I guess everything that I've done is more of an educational side. So I really don't have to educate them as hard, so it makes me just kind of like, oh, well, all my content is kind of useless for them because they're probably like, okay, I got 5 houses, I got 2 houses, so, but I do like what you're saying for my other clients that are a majority of them, is having those conversations of educating them and being more straight with them. Like, if you don't, you can't get a house, straight up, like, if you don't get a home, you're going to be in this position because they're all worried about the economy too and all that. I'm like, it don't matter at this point. You don't have no home. You're renting it. You need to put yourself on another level. And that's kind of when I have the conversations, I try to motivate them, inspire them. And that's really my mission, is to educate, empower them. And I guess with the higher clientele, it will be a different mission. Not that I can't educate or empower them, but it's just that, the stuff that I know and I share with them is just like, yeah, I got 4 houses. Like, I just need a theater, I need this, I need that. So, but I am trying to make that transition a little by little, trying to get a little on the higher end, trying to understand how they think. I go to that's why we're doing a lot of open houses, because it allows me to talk to them, to see where they're coming from, what kind of jobs do they do. One from California was talking about the taxes. They're like, yeah, with the taxes over here are this high and over there they're this low and the house is this high. And I was thinking, well, yeah, kind of, I guess, balanced off a little bit. But yeah, I am starting to get into that. I need to get into that, because if not, I'm not going to hit the number that I want to hit. I need to really get into the higher price point. But that's where I'm at. That's where the transition is at. And then also trying to grow the team at the same time. It's a lot of things going on. But other than that, slow and steady, man. That's the way I operate. I just got to take my time. Don't get too anxious. Don't get frustrated. I've been reading way more books than normal, which are really good, helping me to learn how to grow the team. I got another book. What was it? Oh, it's about a $1 million team. So, but anyways, I don't even know where that. But yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I like that idea of the financial. And then, yeah, trying to get into that bigger market. I think with the listings, I know I missed it for 2 weeks, but you guys are talking about listings, so maybe that's going to help me get into that market as well.
For sure. Yeah, y'all. I mean, and this is something for everyone. Get real educated on the financial side of things, and financial possibilities. Okay. It's especially as you start working with higher price points or even low inventory types of issues, right? And by financial side of things, I'm not just talking about the 4 different types of mortgages out there and this and that. No, I'm talking about the loopholes. Well, they're not even loopholes. I'm talking about how the system works, right? Because sometimes with you knowing how the system works, you can get someone to make a decision, especially in those higher price points. I'll give you an example. Like, let's say someone is pre-approved for 450, right? But the homes that you're finding for them, don't check all the boxes, right? And they're putting down that much money, like Daniel's example, putting down over 100K in as just the down payment. That tells me in my head that really this person can afford a lot more, right? They don't have to put down that much money. And if I bring up the conversation with them, hey, here's a house. I know it's above what y'all were approved, pre-approved for. And keep in mind, pre-approved is just a pre-approval. I know this is above what y'all were pre-approved for, but it checks all of the boxes. This is at 515, right? You want to know, for one, what difference in mortgage payments that's gonna make, how you can take down their down payment on that, where you can possibly save them tax wise. You want to know those types of things. And then when it comes into resale, hey, I know you like that other neighborhood, but this one is moving way faster. This one is more desirable because of XYZ. When you go resell, you'll be able to get a higher resale value than that other. Like, you want to know how to have these conversations, but you want to know what exists out there, especially in higher price points, home equity line of credits, right? This is a system not a lot of people talk about. And I'm continuously getting educated about it, but it makes perfect sense. When you have someone putting that much money down, let them buy that house, then get a HELOC on it, because they're going to have equity in it. Let that HELOC, so they're going to get a whole mortgage in their HELOC. Let that HELOC take first position. It'll pay off their existing mortgage. As they're paying down their HELOC, they're only charged interest on the actual balance of the HELOC, and they can use their money. Like, it's not locked up. Think about a mortgage, right? We know that on average, people sell between 3 to 5 years. If they don't sell, they're normally refinancing every 3 to 5 years. Think about a mortgage. Think about the amortization schedule, right? For the first pretty much 15 years of that mortgage, what are they mostly paying? They're mostly paying interest, literally 80 to 85% interest. So when you have people who are buying homes and selling them, or buying them and refinancing them within that 3 to 5 year time frame, what are they mostly paying? They're mostly paying interest on, the whole time. The biggest advantage that we're working with right now is the appreciation of it. And that's where they're able to hopefully get a spread there through the appreciation of the property value, right? But there are other tools out there to where that money can be done a different way, and it'll make them way more money, and it makes more sense. And so that was just a high level, talk about that, but get really educated on the taxes. So speak to a CPA, talk to them about all of the homeowner incentives, right? Not just the homestead exemption. Talk to them about how that money can funnel, when they own a home. Simply open up a small business, and having that office in their house can give them a write-off. It costs what here in Texas, $300-$400 to open up an LLC, and can save them a bunch of money on their taxes, like just that one little strategy. So you want to be able to have these conversations with people as you get educated on them, because at that point, it's like you're talking like nobody else, right? They want to do business with you because you know that kind of stuff, and you can more so likely get them what they want. And at the end of the day, it still comes out to them spending the same, if not less, for a higher priced product. Okay, so it's something that I would encourage everybody to do. Let's hop over to this listing side right quick. I want to show y'all, like I said, we're going to talk about those value added services, those things that can set you apart from other agents. Now, we know that it's a very competitive market, right? It's a very competitive market, and sometimes you need tools like this. Here's one tool you can consider adding to your arsenal. It's the worry-free listing addendum, right? We know it's a big thing. Contracts, or, oh, you're charging 6%. right? Well, when someone says that, it's like 6% is kind of on my lower end. I'm giving you a deal, but this worry-free listing, bringing this out, especially in those commission disputes, can help you secure a listing, but also make you more money. Now, you cannot use tools like this if you're just going to be that ordinary agent that just does the bare minimum, so all of these tools that I'm going to show you today will enable you to not be looked at as just that ordinary agent that just does what all the other agents do. Okay. This will enable you to get 7% in commission and get a transaction fee. That transaction fee pays for your transaction coordinator, right? Oh, this listing lets you cancel anytime, but please note there is a cancellation fee. We've been talking about running this like a business. Remember that first call we did 3 weeks ago about listings, right? Setting yourself up like a business. Okay. And you're able to have more mature conversations about your services and what you offer, especially when it comes down to the money. Okay. So people love options. People love options, right? People love options. This document gives them options. Okay, so this worry-free listing, and it's essentially, so home sold by MLS co-op. What does that mean? It simply just means there's another agent from another brokerage on the other side. All right, so home sold by your listing agent, meaning me. If I sell your house, so I'm working both sides, we drop the commission down. Now, what about those for sale by owners? Okay, you want to sell the home, you think it's easy, blah, blah, blah. We'll just do all the paperwork and contracts for you. Still, you're getting your 2% here. Okay, right? We'll just do all the paperwork for you. And we have your transaction fee too. So in a sense, you, the agent, really aren't doing all the paperwork. It's your transaction coordinator. And I'll tell you, you see this is our transaction fee, $495. Our transaction coordinator is actually $350. Okay, so again, making a bigger spread there. Now, when it gets into it, what are we doing? Okay, this is where that breakdown comes in. Okay, this is where your added services come in. Okay, so they know what they're getting for whatever commission it is. Okay, so worry-free listing. This is something that you can use. I know some of you may have a hard time getting listings. Okay, this is if you're getting stumped at that commission conversation, like me, y'all, I don't take anything lower than 6%. It's just not my style. It's not worth my time. I wasn't even trained that way. For a large percentage of my real estate career, I didn't even know that the commissions were negotiable. And so for every appointment I was doing, I was taking 6%. I didn't think or even know that there was any way around it. So I got really good at explaining my value. Now, I also live in reality. I know there's stiff competition out here. I know there's disruptors coming out. I know that there's people out there that'll, just charge 1% to put it on MLS. I want to get the business. You want to get the business. So instead of just pretending like it doesn't exist and turning a blind eye to it, we can hop on these trends. Okay, you can hop on these trends. You can offer those services too, but you also need to know that 6% is not going to be your minimum or maximum. Okay, 7% is, 8% is. All right, so this is one document there. Now, another thing, I'm gonna show you another seller resource. When you're taking listings, have a photo shoot checklist. Okay, have a photo shoot checklist. Now, I'm not sure about y'all, but I outsource my listing photography. I use professional companies to go out there, take pictures of my properties, the interior. But I leave it up to the client to make sure that everything looks right. Because I don't show up to those appointments. They're not the best use of my time. I do, however, outsource to a company that's very well versed in real estate photography, so they know how to make the properties look good. But I want to make sure that my client has that property looking right. And think about this. When they're paying you 6, 7, 8%, right? You presenting something like this, it's showing, hey, I'm well worth that 6, 7, 8%. I treat this stuff seriously. You know, I'm not going to allow you to have a car parked in your driveway when we're having professional photos done. It's just not going to happen. You know, and it blows my mind when I see photos like that. And I know that it's just down to the agent not setting that right expectation. We're going to be doing a damn good job with marketing your property, and we want to present it the best way possible. So therefore, when we get these professional photos done, I need you to follow this checklist. Okay. I need you to make sure that things are right. So this is another document.
Couple questions for you.
Yep.
Two questions. First, what's the difference between your gold and platinum? How do you distinguish that?
Sure. So down here, it's just the things that they get. So on the platinum, we have a professional staging assessment, right? It costs us $60. Okay. Now, should the client want staging, that's going to be their expense, but we will provide them the assessment.
Sure.
So I'll cover that charge. Walkthrough video tours promoted on YouTube, just listed postcard mailing, demographic internet targeting, featured listing payments. So all these additional things that we can pay for, those are all included in the platinum.
Gotcha. And
Which is
then
our standard services, you know.
sure. And then these, I know you guys have like custom listing presentation books. I think do you put this stuff in there?
So this is in our folder. This isn't in the actual book because
Okay.
this only gets pulled out if needed.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering, because
Mhm.
my concern would be that it would get floating around and other agents would get a hold of it and kind of copy it.
Yeah, no, this only gets pulled out as needed.
Cool. Thanks.
More of a closing tool. Which it's so interesting too, because when this does have to get pulled out and they, you know, let's just say that they end up choosing, you know, gold for just the regular 6%, we're still making more money because we got these transaction fees, you know, but we're essentially not obligated to do more work.
Yeah, and I like how you have the transaction fee on there, and I like how you charge more than their transaction coordinator's worth, because my mistake is that my transaction coordinator is $300 per transaction, and so I charge $325, and I know I could get a lot more for that. I need to get to a point where I raise that, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. And again, this isn't anything new. And this happens in every industry across the board. You know, every industry across the board now. This happened. Even Zillow, or, you know, those open door companies, all those, they all have them too. You know, so it's nothing that you definitely can't do. Next thing, white glove concierge. Okay. So again, how are you showing your value? You know, what are you telling them that, hey, these are things that, you know, are above and beyond, even if they're just included in what you normally do. Remember, I said earlier, a lot of people, they don't know what you do. And so at the end of the day, they may be feeling like, you know, oh, all my agent did was this. I don't need to hire an agent in the future. No, we don't want them to know that. Okay. Or we don't want them to think like that. So here's our white glove concierge service. So some of our services include, and how I frame this is, hey, we want to take care of everything for you. We want to make this as simple, easy as possible for you. You know, just think of any kind of concierge. We're here for you. Okay. Earnest and option money delivery. I get the title company to do this. Okay. They don't charge me any extra. They'll go and pick it up. They'll go and deliver it. Nowadays, people are using, I mean, some title companies are using apps, right? Inspection scheduling. We work with a company. We schedule our inspections online. It takes 2 seconds, you know. Title commitment review. Who actually does that? The title company will point out if things are wrong with it. Utility connection. Okay. We have a concierge that can help you get your utilities connected. We can help you schedule movers, contractor scheduling, mobile notary, document delivery. Heck, what is document delivery, y'all? DocuSign. DocuSign, Dotloop. There we go. We're delivering documents. Walkthrough assistance. So you have these buyers who are buying new construction or a seller selling. We got walkthrough assistance. We can help you measure for paint. How did I do that, right? I got one of those laser tape measures. You put it on the wall and it measures the whole thing. Super simple. Make ready cleaning scheduling, upgrade consultations, to and from closing transportation, interior design consultations. Then we got on the bottom, additional charges may apply for things with the asterisk next to them. Okay. But we're letting them know, hey, we go above and beyond. This is an added service that we offer to our clients. Okay, so put something like this together and be presenting this in your appointments. Think about things that you do or things that you have access to. You know, all of these title companies, referral partners, mortgage lenders, insurance agents. How can I help you grow your business? Okay, what is something that you offer me that I can in turn offer to my clients? That I can frame it as a concierge type of service. Okay, and add that to your list, even your brokerage. Okay, we have our Forever Fans program, right? The Forever Fans program. Everybody gets a housewarming party on us. Okay, not only that, we give people free moving supplies for life. They have use of our office amenities. I know most of you are in an office now, or you've created an office or have access to an office. So, hey, we give you access to our conference room, notary services, Wi-Fi, scanners. Then we have our value inclusions. So value improvement consultations, free annual market analysis, our special contests, our special giveaways, preferred vendor lists. Now, we're all agents here. We're all agents. We're all running high-level businesses. So let's talk about the methodology behind this. For one, value inclusions. So we got our value improvement consultations. Most of the times, when are people doing improvements to their home? Either when they're moving in, or when they're about to move in, or when they're thinking about selling. Okay, so we're going to have this consultation with you to make sure that you're doing things that can help your resale value, that can help you, that are trending in the markets, that aren't outdated. That's what a value improvement consultation is. Free annual market analysis. It's kind of like that. I thought of that free annual credit report thing. Well, this is a report on your home value. We're going to give it to you every single year. Then contests, special giveaways, access to our preferred vendor list. For whatever you need, we have a list and you're going to have access to it. Now, we offer these office amenities. Nobody's ever used any of this. We have it there for them, but nobody's ever like hit us up and said, hey, can we come sit in your office? But it's cool to know that they have that available for them. Free moving supplies for life. So free moving supplies for life. Okay, think about that right there. If they're needing moving supplies, or if they're wanting to take advantage of this, we're most likely gonna know about it, right? You want to know about it because you want to be that agent. Okay, and I'm telling you, people are gonna feel really dumb, which I haven't had anybody do this, ask us for moving supplies and they're using another agent. Okay, and then there's the housewarming party. And I've talked about this before. This is referral central. This is referral central. Offer this to your clients. It's not expensive. I'm telling you, I think that we spend on average maybe $400. Okay, partner with the lender to do this, whoever closed them. We're mailing their invitation. We're providing appetizers, decorations, cups, napkins, and plates. We're not supplying alcohol. We're not supplying drinks. All of that kind of stuff is on the client, but we're bringing people there. We're at the party. We're mingling. We have the list of their contacts. We met them. And it's so cool what happens at this event, because the clients are literally the whole time, oh, this is my agent. This is my agent. They're the ones through this party. This is my agent. It's amazing. Okay, offer this. This is something, anybody who does a deal with us, they become a forever fan. And we tell people that, right? And so make sure people know what all you have to offer. Okay, some other things that we do to make it easy for people. I have the, let me show you all this. These are long emails. Offer summary. A lot of people really love this. We know that these contracts are long. We know that they're intimidating. So what did we do? We created an offer summary, and it's essentially just a sheet with all of the terms of the contract. Okay. Now, when we're presenting them with a contract, we send an email. I have a full-on email template. Okay. And in this email template, we let them know, hey, a copy of the contract is attached, but we have this handy dandy offer summary with all of the terms of the contract. Okay. And I literally just break it down what all the contract says. And when they're ready, they can sign, or we can go back and negotiate. Okay. You're making it easy for them to understand. People really like that. I do this on the seller side and on the buyer side. So for buyers, how that kind of flips is, once I type up the offer, I send them an offer summary. I say, hey, this is everything I typed in the offer. Let me know if you want anything changed. No, it looks good. That's when I send it to them through DocuSign for them to go ahead and sign. What else? What else? I got a bunch of, oh, I want to show y'all the email chain. So something that we do is we do a lot of emailing, and you can see here on this left-hand side, it says who the email is going to, when the email is sent, and then what's the subject of the email. Okay. And I will give y'all all these email templates, but it keeps the communication fluid, right? What does that allow me to do? That allows me to do my update calls on Tuesdays. They're in the chain of emails. They're in communication. I'm speaking with them once a week for that update call. Okay. And people really like these. Now, along with the emails, there, of course, are those marketing emails. So this is the asking for a testimonial sent to the seller one day after closing, right? And these are actually hyperlinked in the actual email directly to your profiles. But this is a little graphic we made in Canva, super simple. And this gets sent to them. Okay. 1 year after closing, anniversary. And this is something that you can have your transaction coordinator do. They should be doing this. This is still a part of the transaction that they got paid for. You know, so they need to set a calendar reminder to send this out after a year. Okay. So that's the email sequence. Another thing, and this is, I'll make this the last thing. Make sure that you all are tracking your closings. Okay. So tracking your dates, times, closings. I have all kinds of spreadsheets and stuff. Let me see. Where is it at? I just had it up, closing spreadsheet. And these are already, these closing spreadsheets are already in the drive. I mean, not the drive, the Power Unit file vault. And they're already blank, ready for you to go. But for those of you who are working with transaction coordinators, if y'all don't have some type of reporting going on, use this, okay? You as the team leader, you wanna know what's going on in your business simply by looking at this. You don't wanna have to go into each and every transaction. I mean, that takes up a lot of your time. Okay, so you wanna be able to have them fill something out like this. That way, this is you as the team leader, this is how you can keep track of everything. Again, this is in the Power Unit file vault and it's blank. So you can start using it for yourself. It'll break it down into all of these different sheets, okay, as this gets filled out. So this is your reporting. And when you go into file vault, you'll see your closing spreadsheet. There's a listing spreadsheet. There's also a buyer spreadsheet, and I think even a leases one in there as well. Okay, so that way you can keep track of what's going on in your business. Okay, so those are some of those value-added things, right? A vendors list. Need to have a vendors list. Put together a real comprehensive one. What do we do Fridays? Fridays as a theme day is to reach out to referral partners, vendors, new business. So filling out that vendors list as you meet these people. This is something you can give to the clients. This is something that they can have access to. You want that vendors list to be full with a couple of recommendations for any and everything that they can need. Foundation repair, lawn care, you know, flooring, painters, just general contractors, electricians, all of that, interior designers. Okay, so make sure that you have a vendors list. You're not just an ordinary agent. These things that I showed you today, when you present them to people, they present value. Okay. Notice I didn't tell you that standard. I didn't show you that standard just marketing stuff. We already talked about that, what we're going to do to get the home sold. We talked about it last week too. These are those why you items. Why you? Why should you choose me? Why should you choose our team? Well, we have this worry-free listing. We have our Forever Fans program. People really love this. Okay, anyone who does a deal with us becomes a member of our Forever Fans program. Okay, like that's how you, we have an extensive vendors list that you're gonna have access to. Y'all, this stuff may be normal to us as agents, but when you are presenting them, you're presenting them as like, we have this. This is something we started. We notice a lot of clients love this, so we really push our Forever Fans program. Oh, and what else do we do for people? We gift them every month, right? That's part of the Forever Fans program. You're gonna receive a monthly surprise from us every single month. Okay, this is what differentiates you from that other agent or from that other team. This is what builds clients for life. This is what gets you more referrals. It's absolutely necessary in today's real estate climate. Okay, Zillow isn't gonna do this. Open Door isn't gonna do this. 90% of the agents out there won't do this. They won't even call their clients back after closing. Check up on them, let alone send them gifts, give them moving supplies, boxes. So it will set you apart. All right. Let me, Kiera, you said, how would you do that for sellers? What were you specifically talking about with that?
I was talking about the home warming party.
Yeah, so if someone is selling, hopefully you're helping them buy too. If not, if they're moving away or whatever, it's just something that you can't offer them. Or they can't take advantage of. You can definitely offer it to them though. But you know, it's kind of like if they're moving to a different state or different city or whatever, that'll make it extremely difficult for you. Now, if it's, let's just say someone is selling a house and they're moving to a rental property because they're going to be renting, you can still do that for them. But hopefully you're getting them on the sell side and on the buy side. Nonetheless, at a minimum, give them moving boxes. Something else you can do to supplement that, just in case someone asks, give them a credit for a moving company in place of the home housewarming party. So that's something you can do to make it worth it for them. I'm gonna get a quick share link here. I'm pretty sure the worry-free listing is in the hold on, y'all. I'm pretty sure it's in the Power Unit file vault. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy the link for it and just drop it in the chat box. Okay, don't edit mine. So this is gonna open up Google Drive. Don't edit mine. Be sure to click File, make a copy so that it copies into your Google Drive, or download a copy of it. Because if you edit it, then it's gonna edit on my end. Okay. So yeah, if anybody has any more questions or needs anything, feel free, reach out to Aura at team@powerunitcoaching.com. She can get you whatever document, or if you have a question, she'll be sure to communicate it with me. Oh, Kiara says someone in her market charges 10%. Wow, see, it happens, and funny thing about people, it's like the more that you charge, the more they, it's that subconscious thinking. It's like, oh, well, they're charging this much, it must be real good, so try it out. You do it one time, you'll get addicted, I promise. So I will see y'all next week. If anybody has any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to us. Be sure to get your tickets before March 1st to do the most, so you don't pay the full price. And I will see y'all on next Monday. Have a good rest of your week.